Did Kathy Griffin spend election night dancing topless with an A-list celeb? Oh, she's telling the ladies. And we're giving away $10,000 live. So if you want a piece, don't miss 1 second of today's show. Hot topics are hitting the table with Whoopi, Sunny Hostin, Joy Behar, Sarah Haynes, and Jedediah Bila. Now, let's get things started.
The Trump presidency starts to take shape, it looks like he's rethinking one of his biggest campaign pledges. He repeatedly promised a full investigation into the Hillary Clinton situation. But this morning, campaign manager Kellyanne Conway said he won't pursue any charges against her.
I was reassured by it because I think so many people around right now, conservatives and people that voted for Trump, are saying, you know, wait, he's not who you think he is. He's not going to do the things he said. So I was reassured to see that that is happening in this particular instance. I don't know if his base is going to be a little upset about that, because I think the lock her up theme really spoke to some of the people at these rallies. So the fact that now it's unfolding differently than they were promised might not gel.
I feel like he's up to something. I don't trust it because...
You don't trust Trump?
I do not.
That is shocking.
I do not.
That is shocking.
But, I am part of the loyal opposition. I say that all the time. I'm not here to say how great he is. I'm here to look at him. Now, what I think is he's got 75 lawsuits pending. Am I right?
Yes, he does.
He's in the middle of a fraud case about Trump University.
He just settled a fraud case for $25 million.
Thus admitting that he committed fraud.
Admitting he does not admit any guilt.
He settled without any admission
I
of
think
guilt.
when you settle, there's some
not always.
Well,
Not
it is.
always. But make your point.
But he also has business interests all over the world that are in conflict with the presidency. They're saying that if he has to give it all up and put in a blind trust, and not in Ivanka's name and not in the boys. And so all of that's going on. I'm wondering why he doesn't want Hillary's case to be a distraction. It's like, I'm not sure. I don't know what the answer is. Maybe people much smarter than me can figure this out. But there's something fishy about it.
Well, I will say this.
Because he needs it as a distraction.
Yeah,
my point.
Exactly. And I will say this. It's interesting the words that Kellyanne Conway used, because guess what? A president doesn't have the power to press charges against any citizen. That is the job of a special prosecutor or the job of an attorney general.
You still have to go through the steps. You can't just say, I'm coming to get you.
Exactly. The president of the United States doesn't do that. A dictator does that. A dictator does, you know, pursues charges against former political opponents.
When he was running, he made statements like, well, maybe people, the Second Amendment people will take care of her. And now suddenly he's worried about her mental health. She's been through enough. I don't trust the whole thing.
I think what you're speaking to, though, is a good point, which is that politicians seem to lose their minds in campaign mode a lot of times, and something's happening that's bad, which is that they're catering to the radical portion of the party all the time. They feel that in order to get elected, they have to fire up that base and get them excited to vote. And sometimes you say stuff in that campaign mode that then you get out of the campaign and all of a sudden you're a rational person who has to govern, and you say, well, I can't cater to any of that stuff because that would make me insane. And I think he's going through that. One really funny thing, though, I have to add is that Kellyanne Conway said, one of the comments she made about the Hillary stuff, if Donald Trump can help her heal, then perhaps that's a good thing to do. Come on, Kellyanne. Come on.
You know,
come on.
And I think...
I like her. I like Kellyanne. I think she's a tough cookie, but come on.
And I also think it bears mentioning that the FBI concluded not once but twice, including that October surprise, right, 11 days before the election, that Hillary Clinton didn't do anything. So the notion somehow that he's not going to go after her is ludicrous.
But the bigger point, I think, is Hillary Clinton, that stuff, he has bigger issues to solve now. Because he made a lot of promises to people, and people are out of work, and people are looking for their insurance issues to be solved. And he made a lot of promises about immigration and everything, and people are saying, you know what, stop worrying about Hillary Clinton and start worrying about us.
Well, you know, good luck. Well, if you're wondering, okay. So you're wondering why so many Americans are worried about an uptick in racially charged incidents. Take a look at this video posted by the Atlantic of White Nationalist Conference, led by infamous white supremacist Richard Spencer.
Hail Trump! Hail our people! Hail victory! America was, until this past generation, a white country designed for ourselves and our posterity.
You know something, my father and my uncles did not fight in World War II against Nazism to have these creeps getting airtime on the news or even on this show. They did. My Uncle Tony has a Purple Heart.
Here's why they're getting airtime, so that you know they're there. Because
I'm glad to know they're there.
You need to know they're there, and you need to know that this is what happens when you stir the base up. Now, I get that Donald Trump has other things to do, like, you know, belittle the cast of Hamilton. Because he thought they were being disrespectful to Pence, or call out the media and talk about, you know, all the stuff that they didn't do for him, having given him pretty much a podium for the last 2 years. But to these guys, he said, well, yeah, racism is bad for everybody. That was his response to
That's the
this.
part that he keeps saying over and over and over again. I'm getting frustrated that he's not coming out, because it was a divided nation regardless of who got elected. He was the one that did. He needs to come out and quell the fears of those who did not vote for him and say something. Well, he sits with 140 characters and goes after Alec Baldwin or goes after Hamilton. Why could he not have just a vitriolic response to this and say, no, that's never okay?
This is America.
That to me is not, the distinction in his response says too much.
It says too much,
and it's scary.
And I think also, you know, we're talking about the Donald Trump who kept on saying, President Obama, you must call it Islamic terrorism. You must say the words. Well, President-elect Trump, you must say that the alt-right is a white supremacist group, and you denounce it. You don't stand by it. And why won't he do that? And I think we all need to know that we're calling it the alt-right. Now, the person that we just saw in that video is the person that coined that phrase. Don't call it the alt-right. Call it what it is. It's white supremacy. And I think we are sort of normalizing this movement by calling it the alt-right. And we all need to stop doing that.
Because then because what happens is people see alt-right. People see alt-right and they think somehow, oh, that's just anti-establishment. That's okay. If you see alt-right and you say this is what it is, then people can condemn it more easily.
But you know,
say,
when you point out stuff to people don't see what it is.
Well,
people
you know
don't.
what?
Well, they don't.
If
Because
you see this video and you're not disgusted and outraged and feel compelled to say this is not what I represent, this is not what, then there's something wrong with him if he can't do that.
Well, that may be true, but
maybe
they've been asking for this since the KKK endorsed him, since the Nazi Party endorsed him, since all of these groups came out who have said there's no place for anybody but us in America. You know, Lady Liberty is green. There is a place for everybody in America, whether it's Kermit the Frog, Lady Liberty, me, you. America is a melting pot. America was never just all white, ever. But the Native Americans were here first.
But he threw in the gauntlet. When he started with that Bertha BS, that's when he threw in the gauntlet on this entire thing. That's when this all started. And the alt-right, as they call themselves, that's when they said, hey, this is our guy. This is our guy.
Whatever this
and they're just escalating now.
Whatever this is, I'm sorry. Maybe I'm just too old for all of this, but I don't remember this as being ever acceptable in America.
No,
I never remembered this.
We fought a war
Fought
for
a
this.
war, yes. And not only did we fight a war, people of color fought that war and still came back and couldn't vote. So the idea that someone is now saying, this is ours again, it's like, God bless you. It's not going to work in 2017.
The question would be is why doesn't he really come out? I think that is the question.
Here's the real question.
Maybe
Can we talk about this when we come back? Yes, we can.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Later, Kanye in crisis. Rumors he was rushed to the hospital after a nervous breakdown. So first, this star of Hamilton made news. Then he came to The View.
Vice presidents come and see the show. What happens then?
When we have an opportunity to speak with one another, you must seize that opportunity.
What's your response to people who say that wasn't the time or the place?
If people are coming to see Hamilton to leave their politics behind, you came to the wrong show.
Smart, funny, fearless. Bring your view.
Talking about what we've just seen, and you mentioned that the building that this is happening in.
Yes, it was a federal building in Washington, D.C. It had Ronald Reagan's name on it.
Where the alt-right
meeting took place. And it shouldn't be. I mean, but the thing is, they're not designated as a hate group, but they should be. I mean, if you look at the definition of a hate group, it's a group organized that advocates hostility towards members of a race or an ethnicity or a nation, and that, if you listen to his speech, that's all he did, that's all he said. And I just wish someone like Steve Bannon, who was responsible for Breitbart and giving a lot of press and power to this alt-right movement, which again I think it just stands for white supremacy. I wish he, who is now a member of the Trump administration, would stand up and say something about it.
I read something about Steve Bannon that was a little reassuring. There was an interview where it was directly from his mouth, and he said, "I'm not a white nationalist, I'm a nationalist," and that's where he was locking into his association with Trump, saying that it's all about America, whatever color you are. But it's that was an important distinction to me, that there are people like this, the alt-right, that are white supremacists, a very scary group of people that have jumped on the bandwagon. I don't think the majority of people that voted for Trump are this.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's saying that.
I want to talk about that for a second.
I just want to say one quick thing. There is a segment of the population, though, that does consist of white supremacists and racists that they feel, for whatever reason, that Trump is their ally.
Yes.
And if he should be repulsed by that. And if he is, and if he agrees with what you're saying, that the majority of voters who voted for him were not that, then get up and say something.
I want to talk about the
Steve Bannon needs to say it, and Trump needs to say it.
The majority of the people who voted for Trump, I believe a lot of them are blue-collar workers who are suffering. We know that now. Then they were suffering in the Rust Belt. But what I want to say to those people is that Trump is going to be very disappointing to you because he's basically giving tax cuts to the 1%. So we're going to have trickle down again. We're the same as Bush. We went into a recession and people were in bad shape. He's against raising the minimum wage. He wants to cut overtime pay for workers who make a certain amount of money. Let's say, I believe it was $47,000 a year. If you worked overtime, you would get overtime. Obama has this on the books. Trump does not like that. So a lot of the things that he is proposing are going to hurt his very, very constituency that voted for him. And I'm not sure that they know that. Separate that from the racists.
I disagree on that. I disagree. I think you're going to see tax cuts for a lot of people. I think
That's not what I read.
feel the minimum wage hurts those low-skilled workers because when you have to raise, businesses have to make money somewhere. When you raise the wage,
no, wait a minute.
you fire people and a lot of people lose their jobs.
Jedediah, that is not true. Check
Milton Friedman would disagree with you. I mean,
who cares?
I do. He's a smart guy.
Listen,
a lot about the
minimum wage, it shows that it puts more money in the consumer's hands and they spend more money, which stimulates the economy. It does not. Thank you. It does not.
You're going to see.
Can I point something out? That minimum wage jobs are now being held by people with college education. Because there hasn't been a lot of work. So the wage has had to go up because these are workers who are saying, you shouldn't be paying me this tiny bit of amount of money. I need to be able to take care of my family. So these jobs, these minimum wage jobs that people were expecting to get are no longer available. And if you really want to help, let's open some schools that teach, I don't know, plumbing.
I agree.
Or teach mechanics.
Vocational schools.
So that there are all kinds of stuff where people can go, because I mean, I like going to mechanics.
Yeah.
I used to have a car that I could fix myself. My Volkswagen, I knew where the carburetor was. I knew how to empty. I knew how to fill stuff. I mean, you don't have these schools. Plumbers. There are very few plumbers out there. Why aren't we training people?
Yeah.
If we really want to put jobs in people's hands,
Well, that's like
train
Germany.
folks.
Germany, the country, does exactly what you're describing. Look it up.
Schools.
Yeah,
That's
it's
very
crazy.
important. That's true.
Well, you know, that was all the air we had for a second now. So we got all the hot air out. We'll be back. And by the time we come back, we will have inhaled some new hot air. We'll be right back.
Wait, you haven't gotten in on our holiday Head Start View Your Deal yet? Why not? We partnered with vendors for up to 76% off cool stuff for everyone on your list. So get to viewyourdeal.com now.
There's one story that's not being reported on nearly enough, and it's how rough police are getting with these protesters. Oh, my brain is just gone into on the Dakota pipeline. It's just they're using water cannons. They're saying, no, we're using hoses. It's the same thing. If you're shooting people with water in a cold temperature, you're shooting people with water. These folks are protesting. It's their right. It's their right. This is what we have in the United States, to protest when something is wrong.
Yeah.
And I thought we were smart enough to realize that shooting people with water, it didn't work in the 50s, doesn't work in the 60s, it doesn't work. Stop doing it.
I think what's very interesting and important to note is that these are people that are protesting the fact that there's going to be a pipeline through Indian burial grounds, and grounds that are very important to our Native American communities, and it could make them sick because of the water infiltration, right? And I think what we also need to remember is that the CEO of that pipeline company, Kelly Warren, says that he's 100% sure that the pipeline will be approved by the Trump administration, and that is because in June he donated $100,000 to the Trump Victory Fund and a further $3,000 directly to the Trump campaign, and then Trump's campaign financial disclosure reveals that his investments in that company are between $500,000 and $1 million.
Bought and sold.
There you go. There you go.
I mean, this breaks my heart, because I think a lot of these people protesting are genuinely concerned about their health. They're concerned about their drinking water. And President Obama is president right now, and I saw Bernie Sanders calling upon him. He has a lot of power, and he has a lot of respect on this issue because he cares very deeply about the environment and about local communities. I think he needs to step up and do something to calm this situation and to let these protesters know, if nothing else, they have a right to be heard. Because let me tell you something, if something was impacting my drinking water, I would want every right to speak my mind, and I would oppose it.
Well, the leader of the Standing Rock Sioux tribe called on President Obama yesterday to stop the pipeline and said it's time for President Obama to condemn these tactics and this pipeline. Our culture, our children, and our homelands have repeatedly been stolen from us.
So let's make this very, very clear. He can stop it. There's no guarantee it's not going to be restarted in January. And so I think, because he spoke about it, last week, I think.
Yeah, it was.
And, Congress and the Senate, all these folks who were there, I'm sure he said, yeah, I'd love to do it, but I don't want to say, okay, boom, it's not going to happen, and then come January 1st, you're back in the same place.
I think the key, though, is if there were some type of plan to reroute it, if he could kind of be in the leadership position to reroute it, where people who are pro-energy infrastructure and all that could get behind it, and you could bypass the situation where these people felt protected at the same time. By the time somebody like a Donald Trump gets in, progress would have begun already, and these people would have felt protected.
There's not enough time.
So
there's not enough time.
Yeah, and also rerouting it. They've suggested it's been rerouted. This is where it was rerouted to.
Well, this isn't going to work.
Because the community that it was going to go through before said we don't want it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, well, we'll just put it over here. And the Native Americans are saying, okay, enough. It's not going to happen. So with the alt-right guy, see, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. It ain't just your country. The Native Americans were here first. This was their country. So Obama, Senate, Congress, House, everybody.
All of you.
Fix this if you can.
Fix it.
Fix it. But how's this? That would be a wonderful, that would be a wonderful early Christmas present for the folks who are protesting. But an early Christmas present that we're giving away here is about $10,000. That's today. We're giving it. We are giving it one to a viewer who has been watching us at home. They'll win big cash. And when we come back, so will someone sitting in our audience. So $5,000 there, $5,000 here, it's $10,000. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Say, Sarah, what's up?
We are doing something really exciting today. We're giving away cash to our audience. To start us off is Sarah Skirball, shopping trends and expert from Retail Me Not. Sarah, what did you want to tell us about today?
Yes, so Black Friday is only a couple of short days away, and I want to remind everyone to download the free Retail Me Not app. We have over 500,000 deals and offers for more than 50,000 of your favorite retailers and restaurants. But the best part is that on Black Friday, our users report an average savings of $28 off per transaction. So if you want to save time, money, energy, make sure you have the Retail Me Not app downloaded so you can find all of the best deals, discount e-gift cards, and even cashback rebate.
Oh, nice. I like the sound of that. Well, thanks to Retail Me Not, later in the show we will announce which lucky home viewer is winning $5,000. But right now, we're finding out which studio audience member will have a chance later in the show to win up to $5,000 in our win booth. Through your pictures, and I'm going to press this button right here to reveal our lucky viewer. Let's go, no whammies. Congratulations! What is your name and where are you from?
My name is Cornelia. I guess you can see that. But I go by Molly.
Okay, well, later in the show, you're going to get in that win booth.
Okay.
So get ready. And we're going to give you a chance to win up to $5,000 in the win booth, and we're announcing our at-home winner, so make sure you stay tuned if you're watching at home.
Okay.
Congratulations.
You know, I often think to myself, what if I was hypochondriacal? And it turns out that hypochondriacs are really onto something. People who are always stressing over stuff and getting sick are actually more likely to develop a serious illness because you've stressed yourself into it. Any of you hypochondriacs?
That would be me. That would be me. Shocking, I know. No, I'm the Google queen. You know, when
WebMD will have you so
I will
sick.
diagnose.
Yeah.
If I have a rash, I call my dad. I'm like, I think you're going to have to plan to come to the city. It's like, I go to the doctor. I'm like, what is this? She's like, it's a rash. I'm like, but do you know that it can be linked to? I play doctor. I'm like, and the doctor will tell me, no, it's fine. And I say, no, but you didn't read WebMD. You don't know what I'm thinking. So basically, I'm crazy. And I probably am stressing myself out, though. And they say that when you're stressed, you release all these chemicals that then can actually make you sick. But it's a compulsion. It's like
all the information,
I went through a phase where I went for tests. I was sitting in the MRI machine. I had headaches. I was convinced I had a brain tumor. My doctor said, you don't have the symptoms. I said, I do. You're not reading up enough. She said, I'm the doctor.
My husband says that WebMD has made his job impossible because people come with their self-diagnosis. I mean, I have an internet MD as well. I self-diagnose often. I'm not a hypochondriac.
And you're married to a doctor.
Yeah, but I self-diagnose.
And what did you say about getting an operation from somebody on?
I know. I know.
I just wanted you to say
I did mention something like that.
A thing right here. that came in.
No, it looks good.
And
It's
I
fine.
thought, what
You're
is
fine.
that?
Yeah. Did you Google
It's
it?
your uvula.
No, it's up on the ridge of my mouth, and I'm worried about it now.
How much? How
Google
much?
it.
Good thing you
How
didn't call
much?
me.
Wait. How much citrus do you drink?
I never drink citrus.
You don't? No lemons, no nothing?
No.
Maybe you should start.
We'll all diagnose.
I'll have an orange,
you drink coffee,
an
no?
orange in my tequila. That's it.
I'm going to be able to. I'm going to be able to diagnose that
She's going to get diagnosed. We're going to go to the bathroom.
get
So
burnt.
should you. We'll be right back.
It's a burn.
Hey, it's me, Kathy Griffin. I'm up next, and I'm afraid the topics are so hot, I'm going to burn my butt.
We all know you should never talk politics, religion, or relationships at Thanksgiving dinner. So we're doing it for you. Oh, yeah. We're dialing up Thanksgiving week with some sizzling hot topics.
I like the sound of that.
Plus, Martha Stewart is bringing the pie.
Wait. There's more.
Yeah, because we've got your best Black Friday and Cyber Monday deals.
Stop it. I want that.
And an Academy Award-winning Bad Santa, Billy Bob Thornton. Woo! It's all this week on The View on
Hey, now, no celebrity is off limits when Kathy Griffin is on stage, and now she's written an A to Z index of her most awkward encounters with the stars in Kathy Griffin's celebrity run-ins. Please welcome the most fabulous Kathy Griffin.
I said standing ovation. She goes, they told him. I don't care. I couldn't care less long as you're up. All right, we all need a laugh. The world's upside down, and I'm here to fix it all. All right, so slightly off topic, because in this book, I do tell stories that I haven't told on stage, or they're just bizarre. But I just reminded me, were you at that Larry King thing a few years ago? It was his birthday toast. Like, it wasn't a roast. You're supposed to be a little nicer. So it was like, the whole mafia was there. Like, you and Kirk was there and the whole gang. I call you guys the New York Mafia. Yeah. So I'm next to Trump, and Susie Orman is giving me crap about it. She's like, girlfriend, I don't think you should be seated next to the Donald. He is not very pro-LGBT rights. And so she's like threatening to like take a picture of me and the Donald to release it. And I'm next to him for like hours. He was insufferable. But he turned to me at one point and he goes, so you're a female comedian? I swear to God.
Really?
And I thought he was, I know, right? Like we were just invented. And I go, yeah, like next thing you know, we're going to want to vote. And then, of course, he doesn't laugh. He never does. And then he goes, it was so odd to me. He goes, how much you make? And I go, how much do you make? And he goes, $1 billion. I said, me too. Like, he's that kind of guy. You know him.
And so where did you...
That's in the book because it's like almost not even enough of a story for my act, but it was definitely a weird... I was next to Gilbert Gottfried. I was never so happy to be next to Gilbert for 4 hours. Hi.
Where were you for election night?
Oh, okay, so get this. So one of the things I'm very proud of is that some of the celebrities who used to loathe me completely now sort of put up with me. And one of those is named Sharon Stone. Heard of her? All right. So you know Stoney, I love her, but you know what I mean. And so I've been a little tough on her in my act over the years, and something just happened. And this is the one thing I actually like about being a 56-year-old chick comic, is sometimes like if you're in the game long enough, some of the folks sort of come around, right? And they're like, oh, okay, you're not really damaging my career. Like you're just kidding. So Stoney and I are friends, and so I called her up election night, and I said, I need you. I need to cuddle. And so I went over to Stoney's, and then as the night was not going our way, she would have dance breaks. And at one point, I just took my top off. She took hers off, and it was just bare boobies like this. And we would just, and she was Snapchatting, and I was like, woo! And that's who I am now.
This is what can go wrong with social media, kids.
That's who you are. You're
That's right.
Stoney's bitch. Is that?
I am Stoney's bitch, exactly. And happy to be. Happy to be.
Kathy, you also write about a ton of other celebrities, including Barbara Walters. actors who you say is scarier than Suge Knight? Please
That's true.
explain.
Come on. The truth hurts. Look, and by the way, I actually write about Suge Knight in the book, too, because one time I was at a Cat Williams house, and I got Suge to spoon me. And
You're a snuggler.
I know, I'm snuggly. And Suge Knight goes, normally
Oh, wow.
I go, I know, but what if tonight we were just tender? All right, so anyway, he's way less scary than Barbara. Now, Barbara's in the car. I told her to get her a sandwich.
Okay.
No, but I love her. You know I love her.
I know you love everybody.
You know I love everybody, but you do know that I am openly in a fight with Barbara again because, I'll tell you why, because that bitch is trying to steal my man. You heard me. Yeah, it's on. It is on.
Who's your man?
Okay, so my boyfriend, who's 18 years younger, don't judge. Don't you dare.
We like a cougar here.
I got a 13-year younger one right now, so I'm
13, dump him. Go with the 20 years younger. Last time I saw Barbara, it was at a Broadway show, and now her thing with me is to, because you know she gets in your head, man, and now her thing is to walk past me, go to my boyfriend, and just be like, hello, Wendy. Are you modeling? You're very handsome. And last time I go, back off, honey. He's mine. She had the fedora, the whole thing. So, but I love her, and I've obviously had like a million times sitting next to her where she was saying awesome, amazing things. So.
What about your oh, go ahead.
I want to ask, because you recently moved into a new house in Bel Air, and your next-door neighbors are Kim Kardashian and Kanye.
Oh, my God.
And
Take that in.
I want to say, tell me everything. I mean, do you have like a telescope that you use?
I want to get that Nest
sliver on
that Nest system.
You know.
Okay, so all right, so
What do you think
ironically,
called the police on her?
so yes, believe it or not, out of all the places I could have moved, because I lived in my house for my life on the D list for like 13 years. I love that house, and so I decided to be a little more west. Oh, hey, that was like an accidental pun. And so, sure enough, I didn't just buy a house like in the neighborhood. I mean, we can like wave to each other in through the windows. We are very close neighbors.
Are they quiet?
So here's the ironic thing. They're the best neighbors.
Because not home much.
No, they're not home. And I always think there's going to be like wild ragers and like, you know, you just hear Tyga, Marco, and then Christy Teigen, Polo. You know, they're actually quite polite and almost boring, one might say.
What's wrong with Kanye?
I don't know. I'd love to go over and ask. I'll knock on the door and be like, how's it going?
We're
Take care of this.
what happened to him. We were going to even discuss it today. That maybe he feels, you know, bad that he said he would vote for Trump and he got stressed out.
Well, that was definitely an interesting monologue that I didn't vote, but if I would have voted, it would have been for Trump. I was like, ooh, read the room. So, so we'll see. But she's like, actually the Kardashians are in my book too. Like, it's literally 120 names. It's everybody from like Dick Van Dyke. Oh, I had dinner recently with the Van Dykes and the Manilows.
Oh. You're like the Taylor Swift of comics.
Well, and guess who hates me? Taylor Swift.
Why does she hate
She hates me. Okay, so
what did you do to her?
This is what I did. So I was at like some big fancy Hollywood fundraiser thing in Majig, and when she came there, she was with that squad. And I'm not kidding. Like when I went to the bathroom and they were outside, it was like high school again. I was like, never mind, I'll hold it. And I looked at Tay-Tay, and I thought she would find it amusing because it was one of those events where they like announce who's there, and they're like Taylor Swift, and she stands and everyone claps, and then they go comedian Kathy Griffin. So I stand, and I just thought she would funny. I look at Swiftie and I go like this.
That's hilarious.
And she was like, and then when they walked by, I was trying to tell her, like, I'm just messing with you, and the squad wasn't having it. They walked by, and I would love it. That'd be my dream.
Yeah, you'll be in the
like,
song.
I dumped her. Okay, fine. I love the song.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
That's right. That's right.
Ever be friends.
That's right.
Good to see you, KG.
And please watch Anderson Cooper and I are going to do New Year's Eve again.
Yes, love that. Listen, we always love it. Always good to see you. Look good.
I love you guys.
Thank
Thank you.
Kathy Griffin Celebrity Run-Ins is available now. And guess what, y'all? Everybody in the audience is going home with it. We'll be right back.
$10,000 in cash is about to be given away live. So stick around to see if you're getting a piece of this jackpot. On tonight's Dancing with the Stars is doing a victory lap right here. Plus, sisters and medal-winning junior Olympians share the heartbreak of being homeless for the holidays and praying for a miracle.
Welcome back. Okay, so Cornelia, she goes by Molly, is ready in the win booth. But first, we want to announce our at-home winner. Congratulations to Lauren from Ohio. You just won $5,000. I hope there's not more than one Lauren. Okay, and now it is time for our studio audience winner. The win booth is full of View cash that totals $5,000, and you will have 15, are you listening? 15 seconds to grab as much as you can.
I need more.
You got this, Molly, okay?
I got this. Yeah.
Okay. Ready? Let's go.
Grab.
Go.
Is it working? Just throw the stuff up.
Just grab. Just grab. Grab it. Grab it. Grab it. Grab it. Grab it. Grab it. Okay. Time is up. Time is up. Just step with me. Okay, so she did a really good job. Let's start counting. Okay. You know what?
Yeah.
Let's just give it all to her. Yeah! You won
No. That's why they did the
$5,000. Congratulations to Molly. It's all you, Whoopi.
Wow. If that wasn't exciting enough, I don't know what to do. My Lord, I mean, the tension when that wind didn't blow. Wow. But you know what? We just want to say to you, thank you for coming to the show today. You do not blow. Y'all are great. We want you to have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy whatever view you happen upon. Way to go.
A simple green t-shirt.
By wearing the